Christ. I think it's neat. It's like having a big family reunion, getting to see each other and know each other and meet new people and meet new sisters. God just gives us this because of His love. So today I just want to open up and welcome everybody to this is what love looks like. Look around us. This is what love looks like. We want to begin by having a special our song this morning, open up and singing it and lifting God up in love. So go ahead and you'll find your hymnals, the red hymnals, on page 265, and Julie's going to come and lead us in Love Lifted Me. Good morning, good morning. Here.
Is it polite to cover your mouth when you talk? Yeah, it's supposed to. Don't try.
We ask, Father, that you bless each one of them. We ask that you just help us, Lord, as we go through this service to honor you in every way possible. Give us the words to speak, and Lord, best of all, let us see what love really looks like. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Once again, welcome my new friends I've met at Storm Baptist for coming and sharing and joining with us today. They've allowed me to share their and be in their Bible study weekly. They also serve great coffee and wonderful snacks. But as we look and think about what does love look like, every one of us will probably immediately think of one verse. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. That is the love beyond love. And then Paul writes over in Ephesians, but God, who is rich in mercy, for his great love, for he loved us. He loved us beyond our own understanding. He loved us. And Mark tells us, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. But he also says, and the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And there is none other commandment greater than these. He has given us the ability to love one as one of the greatest gifts that we're ever given, is to love someone. Now, if we turn on over, and it was referred to in our Bible class on Thursday about 1 Corinthians, we are given the choice. Will my love be patient? Will it be kind? My love won't keep a record of wrong. It's my choice. Will my love protect, persevere? Will I allow my love at Jesus' feet and stop twisting and demanding that people in my circle do things for me? Love isn't what I have the opportunity to get from others. Love is what I have the opportunity to give. Loving others is the key to feeling love. Now, I don't know about you, but I like visuals. I like, if I look at a recipe book, I like to see the picture of what it's going to look like when I get finished. Never does it look like that. But I like visuals, so I kept thinking about love as a visual. How can I give you all a real visual on what I think love is? That's what I think love looks like, what God has given to me. I like visuals, so I'm going to use an apple. So let's look at this love, this red apple. This is God's love, his pure love, his holy love, his perfect love. It's superabundant, and we don't have superabundant love. So he provided us humans with apples that are green, apples that are yellow. Whoops. Apples that are striped. Do you know there's over more than 1,000 species of apples in the state of Virginia alone? And I thought it was very interesting that apples are peeled and unpeeled. They're sliced, they're diced, they're fried, they're dried, they're baked in a pie, they're bread, they're cake, they're in a cup, hot or cold, as a dumpling sweet, tangy apple butter, savory sauce, summer, fall, round or small. They come in different shapes and sizes, and they're used in many different ways. And they're still apples. They're not perfect. They taste good when you're hungry, when you need a hug, when you need a listening ear, or a friend rescue. This is what love looks like. Only our love is not consistent like God's. His is 100%. His is 24/7. That's God's love. We should be still in the light of his presence so he can communicate love to us. There is no force in the universe as powerful as his love. We are constantly aware of limitations, ours and others, but there's no limit to God's love. It fills all space and time and eternity. Now we see through a glass darkly, but one day we'll see him face to face. Then we will be able to experience fully how wide and long, high and deep God's love is for us. If we were to experience that now, we would be simply overwhelmed. The love would be so great. For now, the knowledge of God's love, his loving presence, is sufficient to carry us through each day. Our love comes in many different forms. We should strive always to have the real red kind of love. But today, we're going to take a peek at love that he gives us through personal experience, in picture and in song, and we're going to learn to grow and share in his love. So now we're going to have our first speaker, and this is Miss Sue. She's going to come. Oh, excuse me. Let's go ahead and have Tammy. She's still right there. She's going to sing a special song for us. Wonderful. We're going to have a speaker here. Her name is Sue, and she's going to come and just bear with us a minute here where she sits up, and she's going to sit over here and just share her heart.
Y'all want to know that I'm Sue Hatch, and I've been attending Cornerstone for about 5 years, almost. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm not a speaker by any stretch of the imagination. So I hope I don't mess up. That's why I wrote it all down. I'm nervous already. Anyway, my sister Gladys over here called and told me about this. And I thought, we're going to have a ladies retreat. I said, that's great, we need a ladies' day. We all always need ladies' day. And she told me what the subject was. And I said, well, I don't know that much. That's nice, but I don't know a whole lot about love. And then she told me that I was going to be one of the speakers.
That's love.
To myself, I said to her, I said, lady, are you crazy? I said, I don't know what love looks like. But I didn't back out. I started on the assignment, and finally got it done a few days ago. But so here goes nothing. There was no love in my home when I was growing up. No I love yous, no hugs, no bedtime stories, no good job if I got a good grade home from school. And I never heard my parents tell each other that they love each other. Huh? It is. It is not working. Anyway, hopefully I'll hear it. Anyway, like I said, my parents never said I love you to each other, so I never heard it. And so during my growing up years, I kept trying to find out what love was all about, but I didn't know. So I Googled it. According to Google, it says love means to be deeply committed to somebody or something. The basic meaning of love is to feel more than liking towards someone. It's about two people, a bond that two people share. There's 4 types of love. Eros, which is erotic, passionate love. Philia, love of friends and equals. Storge, love of parents for children. And agape, which is love of mankind. And since I didn't know what love was growing up, I didn't have a clue how to find it. So as a naive 16-year-old, I went looking for love in all the wrong places. And unfortunately, at the age of 16, I lost my virginity to a man that was 10 years older than me because I thought, if he wanted my body, he must love me. I didn't know any better. But boy, was I wrong. So about a month after graduating from high school, I met the man who was to become my first husband. And I was so happy to get out of my parents' home. Somebody was taking me out of my parents' home. I didn't stop and think about, do I really love this man? I thought I did. But I didn't know what love was, so I didn't know what I was feeling. But it didn't take me long to realize that I made a mistake. The only good thing that came out of my first marriage, my two beautiful children. And so during my marriage, I was still looking for love in all the wrong places, which was terrible, but I didn't know any better. So then on June the 1st, 1998, after being married for 25 years, I finally met the love of my life. I was 44 years old, and I finally found what love looked like. Unfortunately, I lost that love almost 7 years ago. We had 17 years together, which I cherish with all my heart. And even though my heart is broken, I found an inner strength in me, because I always depended on men. You know, I was with my parents and I depended on them. My first marriage, I depended on that man. And my second marriage, I depended. When I lost my husband, I found this inner strength. And I didn't know I had, and I credit my belief in God. It's what got me through my loss. As much as I love my late husband, something good came out of his passing. After being lonely and depressed for 2 years, I decided I needed some spiritual healing. So after visiting several churches, I came here, and I knew I was home. So in essence, my husband's death led me back to God, but I had forsaken him for so long. I grew up in church, but once I was an adult, teenager adult, it was the last thing on my mind, unfortunately. And so I am so glad to be back in church. Everyone is so nice to me. I've made some wonderful friends. And I was able to come out of my dark hole of depression all because of the love that the Lord showed me. In the past 18 months, I've had an 8-day stay in the hospital, 6 surgeries, which the last one was just 2.5 weeks ago, and COVID. I had that back in October, unfortunately. And I'm convinced that I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if it hadn't been for the prayers of this congregation and me praying just about all day long while I was in the hospital and while I was at home recuperating. You just don't know how powerful prayer can be until you need it to get through a bad situation. If you don't have the love of the Lord in your life, I think you're incomplete. I really do. If you weren't for God, we wouldn't be here. My belief and love of God has gotten me through so much that He will always be my number one love. I looked up a few scriptures in the Bible about love, and Deuteronomy 6:5 says, "And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might." And John 15:12 says, "This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you." And 1 John 4:7 says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God, and knoweth God." So that's my story. It's the first time I've really let anybody know my life. And I'm so glad it's here with you guys, because I can feel the love sitting up here for, especially Jen over there just grinning at me. Thank you, Jen. You know, you're my number one. So I want to thank you all for being here today. We really appreciate it. And I've got a little gift for you. And Miss Hannah, can you come from back there to give out the little gifts? There's a bag sitting over there. I hope you enjoy them. God bless you all.
love. This lady is dear. She never did this before. We called her for another retreat. I said, "Have you ever done this?" She goes, "No." I said, "You're going to do it now." She's back to us again.
Well, good morning again. I want to thank Gladys for inviting me to share a few words with you today. Mine is not very long. Anyway, your Lady Spring Retreat, the theme is "This is what love looks like." And you know, love is such a wonderful topic. There are so many things written and sung about it. It's just amazing. I know you've all heard the saying that love makes the world go round. So what does love really look like? Speaking for myself, I'm a mother, a wife, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, and I'm a child of God. And I love and cherish all the time I spend with everybody, my friends, my family, and our Heavenly Father. In the dictionary, you will find that they have written there are 4 kinds of love: romantic love, family love, brotherly love, and God's divine love. In Genesis 1:26, we read that God created man in our own image. Our heart is a symbol of love that resides inside of us, and God is the symbol of love for us. And we've already heard one of the most popular verses in the Bible is John 3:16. God shows his love for us, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. In 1 John 4:19, we read that we love because God first loved us. There are many verses in the Bible about love and how we should strive to incorporate them in our lives. Many bride and groom have used the 1 Corinthians 13:4-8 and 13:13 read at the wedding ceremony. As a reminder to all of us, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. And now these 3 remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. I was raised during the 60s, and many singers have sung about love. Sonny and Cher, the Beatles, Elvis Presley, just to name a few. In 1967, the Beatles released a song, "All You Need Is Love." I recently came across a song sung by Ella Lindbergh, and the name of her song is "What Love Looks Like." It is a beautiful song, and wish we could play it. It's about Jesus and how he showed his love for us. I'm going to read you a few lines from her song. Always patient, always kind. You never leave the lost behind. And even though you wander still, oh, you chase me down, you always will. You love me completely, so much you gave your life. There are so many books and articles written about love. I recently read an article in the AARP magazine. It's about a woman who fostered 83 infants. And some of them she kept for over 2 years before, they went to a family. And so during her interview, she was asked, wouldn't you have liked to have traveled or done something else? And her reply was this: being able to care for these babies is a gift from God. It has taught me that love is endless and love flows in both directions. Whatever you give, you truly will receive in return. And that's what love looks like. And today, I am wearing a necklace that my mother and father gave my aunt when she graduated from grade school. And so this necklace is about 70 years old. And so that's, to me, is what love looks like. Thank you.
It's wonderful to see it in so many different shapes, so many different as we express it differently, but yet it's still love. It's beautiful to feel this love. Now we're going to see it in some pictures. It has worked really hard to get in a PowerPoint and trying to get it up. We've had to pray this morning or to make this thing work.
Yeah, I had to have a younger person help me out here. Even though I work with computers every day, they're stubborn. They don't work sometimes. like Sue, you know, Gladys, you know, she gets you. Those who don't know her very well, okay, she'll tap you. Hey, how would you like, you know, you can't turn her down. I tried. I just can't turn her down, you know, it's just something about her. Yeah, absolutely, you know, 'cause she's always been the glory of the Lord, you know, and just how can you turn it down? You know, you can't. But she wanted me to share some pictures of what love looks like. And, you know, at first I said, oh, piece of cake, you know what love looks like. And so I started collecting all these pictures and I said, well, you know, how much time do I have? You know, because I could just share endless pictures of what love looks like. And the few that I have is just a small piece of what it's meant to me throughout my life. You know, just small glimpses. And I thought, gosh, where to start? You know, with sharing with you. And this is my daughter-in-law and my first grandchild. Woo, grandbabies! You know, there she is again. But you know, babies. Who doesn't love a baby? You know, I understand this lady who fostered babies. You know, because they're totally honest in their feelings. They're innocent. You know, they just bring out the best in you when they're not crying. But they, you know, they do. They bring out the best in you, and they just, you know, you just want to hug them up and love on them. You know, they're just so sweet. They're just so sweet. And if you are blessed to have siblings, again, these are my grandchildren, and that well, you know, siblings, they can be a blessing or a curse. I have 4 brothers. Yeah. The jury's still out, okay? Blessing or a curse. You know, growing up, they made life a little rough, you know, because, you know, they had friends, and they thought they were my brother too, and so, you know, I could never do anything without one of them being somewhere, you know, or something. But, you know, they tried to protect me and show me brotherly love. You know, but I have 3 sister-in-laws who are, so I do have sisters, you know, so I did get some sisters out of the deal, after all. And then families. Families come in all shapes and sizes. Oh, disclaimer. That's my husband and I when we got married. So any of y'all know my husband, you did not see this picture. Okay, because he would be mortified that I shared this picture because it's 1970s. Okay, just so you know. His hair was longer. You know, and he looks at it now and he says, why didn't I get a haircut? I said, I don't know why you want to know that. The families come in all shapes and sizes, and they help us to grow. Again, it's another aspect of love, you know, because in families they stick together. They show you compassion, tolerance. You know, there's so many facets to a family, you know, that they can show you. And then, of course, again, grandchildren. You know, they have taught me so much. Again, or reminded me. They've reminded me. You know, because of the intensity in which I love them, the intensity that God loves me, and the things that they brought to my remembrance about my relationship with the Lord. My granddaughter is autistic, and they did not think that she was speaking. And so we all, as the church began to pray, we began to pray for her, that God would intervene in this little girl's life, and He would use her. Now, y'all remember, my son and my daughter-in-law are on the same. So y'all remember that in prayer. But I know that God's going to use this little girl. She talks, she sings, you know, she's high functioning, she's come a long way. But that's through God. God's using this little girl. He is. And, you know, and He's used her to remind me of our relationship and to bring me back where I need to be with Him. He's using her and to touch the lives of others, you know, because people see the change. That's God. That's God using that one girl to touch people's lives that wouldn't have normally been touched. My grandson, he's a mess. You know, he's his father. All over. He's got one just like him, you know. He even called me, he said, Mom. I said, oh. He said, that boy. I said, been there, done that. Yeah. But, you know, they're so glad to see you, you know, and they run up to you and they hug you, and if they don't say that to me, you know, 10 times when I visit, it's 100. Yeah, I love you, Emma. Sweetest words ever. It reminds me, do I tell God that? Do I say I love you? Just out of the blue. They'll run up and hug me and I love you, Emma. Do we do that? Do we run up and say, I love you, God? Because He's everything. He's everything to us. You know, and He loves us so much. So much. And then there are favorite things. You know, there are pets that you can love, friends that you have, you know, that close friendship, closer than we say closer than a brother, but I'll say this more closer than a sister. You know, those friends that you can share those secrets with, you know, who'll pray with you, who you know you can rely on, you know, those friends. You know, and sometimes, you know, it's even caring for a pet. You know, they can that you're by yourself and you've got, you know, a pet to keep you company, that companionship. Again, you know, it's so funny about pets. I have to tell you, you can come home, they're so excited to see you, you're the greatest thing. You know, maybe. But, you know, but you can run the door and come back in 5 minutes later, and they're so happy to see you. You know, they're funny. They're really funny. But we love our pets and we take care of them. I think they're special little gifts from God. I really do, because they come into our lives at times when we need them. Let's see. And then we have, I love to watch children play. I love to watch children play. I really do. Because I like the imagination play. You know, I don't like these battery things. You know, I like, you know, trucks and cars and in the dirt and you know, dolls and, you know, just the imaginary play that goes on in a child's mind, because, you know, you can see what's going on in their heads. And I love watching them play. They're just fascinating. They're fascinating. And shopping. Who doesn't love to go shopping? I do, right, guys? Okay? You know, it's one of these glorious things that, you know, God allows us to do, is to go shopping and have with friends, you know, and then a good book. You know, give me a good book. I love a good book. You know, if I get a hold of a good book, I'm done. There'll be no house cleaning, no dishwashing, no clothes washing. Nothing else will go on until I finish that book, you know, because I get absorbed in that book. And then gardening. I love gardening. I love getting outside. You know, it's getting warmer. I'm kind of getting anxious. Jen and I were talking about this morning. I want spring to come because I really want to get outside and enjoy the nature and the wonders that God has given us. Yeah, you can do that in the winter time too. just to get out in the peace and quiet. It seems like it's quieter in the winter. It does. It seems like it's quieter. But this is, you can't really tell what it is. This is a drawer with underwear folded. Okay. I had to put Larry's little piece in because I was talking to him about this, and he said, "Well, you know, nothing shows love like a drawer full of clean underwear." And I said, "That's going in the PowerPoint." He said, "Well, pretty fades." He said, "But honey, when you got clean dainties." And I said, he said, that's real love. And I said, "Okay, I'll put your little piece in the PowerPoint." He's a character. But my absolute favorite time of day is first thing in the morning, because that's my prayer time. I have a place set up in my house that I can go, and everybody knows that when I'm there, they're to leave me alone, because that's my time with God. And I love to sit and just quiet my mind. You know, it's like being in it's a really peaceful place. It's quiet. My mind can stop this swirling that my mind does all the time, all these things I got to do. And sometimes I sit there and I say, "Oh, Lord, please make it stop. I don't want this to interrupt my time with you. It's just, I need the quiet. I need the peace. I need to calm down so I can hear you." Because he never shouts. He always speaks to you in a small, still voice. You know, and to hug you up when you need hug. You know, and to comfort you like you do, you know, the small child. You know, and to let go of the things, the worries of the world. Let go of the things that will bother you. You know, sometimes we go to God and we just, and here's all this stuff that we're just letting, you know, go. And you say, sometimes you just need to be quiet. And you just need to thank Him. You just need to thank Him for who He is. You need to thank Him for being able to walk, talk, and do all the things that you can do. You know, as you age, you know, you can't do all the things that you once could do. But that's okay. That's okay. He can still use you in a way that He wants to use you. But I love my prayer time. I love the quiet. I love just to allow Him to speak to me and to read His Word and to get fed. Because I need that. I need that time. But no greater love than can be found here. This is true love. This is pure love. This is where it is. This is love. That's all there is to it. This is love. Because He loved us first. He loved us first. And it's already been repeated several times, but I'm going to put it up there. For God so loved the world. That doesn't mean He just loved Catholic or Manassas or wherever. Didn't mean just them. The whole world. It's so hard to comprehend. You know, the whole world. And not just now, these days. From the beginning. He loved the whole world. And that's everybody in it. And to me, that's just kind of mind-boggling when you think about how many people there are, and how many people there it really is. And that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever, that's whosoever, that right there, whosoever, anybody, doesn't matter who they are, anybody, believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life, everlasting, permanent life. That's all. The love of God comes in
our family, our children. I don't know if some of you may have seen my son who is a missionary in devotion. And this is God's love. He said, I've got this hat on my head. And he said, people have asked me why. He says, there's 3 reasons I have this hat on my head. 1, it's cold. 2, and he starts laughing. He pulls his hat off, and his hair is like a frizzly chicken. It's sticking up everywhere. And he said, number 3, my mama gave me this hat. God is love. It makes us laugh knowing God loves us. We love each other. We love our families. We love new people who have been introduced into our families. It's still God's love. It all bounces back from the center of love. He's getting us to radiate it, to send it out, to go forward with it. And we're going to hear again God's love in song, Sheila. Sheila was a blessing in disguise. She didn't even know it. I had 2 ladies that when you're doing these retreats and you're planning them, last minute they call you and they cancel. I said, dear Lord, help me, send me somebody else. Well, I went over to, my son was preaching, and I went over to hear him speak over at Colchis, and there was Sheila. And I'm like, and she said, I don't know, I'll text you. And that gives you really weird feelings. But before I got home, I got the text, says I'll be there. And I thought, yes, God's still working, he's still on the throne. Good.
You'll have to pray for me. I took some allergy medicine before I left the house. Because for some reason I get really nervous when I sing. I've been singing since I was 5. I don't know why I get nervous, but I do. So I thought, I better take some allergy medicine because this will be like when I go to the dentist. I get more spit in my mouth than anyone should ever. Okay? Especially at the dentist. So I figured it'd be the same thing here. So now I'm so dry, it's like a Sahara desert. You'll have to pray for me that I get through this. And like the other ladies, and as Gladys explained, she tapped in to me. Okay? She's a great tapper. I think maybe she is a former car salesman or something. I don't know. But she's good at it. And I get real nervous playing piano and singing. If y'all would put the piano in the closet and let me in there, I could have done it, maybe. But I can't play and sing in front of people. So that's my problem. I hope the Lord helps me with that one day. So I decided, well, I'll play it at home. I'll record it. And I'll have something as a backup. I'll try playing it earlier. I played it fine. But then I realized as I was sitting there, I can't do this. So you'll have to bear with me. I did bring my own speaker, and it's going to kind of make some noise here. But just pray for me as I sing this song, or these 2 songs. And Gladys did tell me it was about, love and what love looks like. So I tried to find songs that would have love in it. The word love. I even wore a shirt that says love. Clothing appropriate. So just bear with me as I sing, or I try to sing anyway. Come down. the blood of that sacrifice, oh, it covered, and it washed me whiter than snow. And its touch, it has given me healing and freedom. Yes, I'm free indeed. And each time I need that blood once again, oh, Calvary still touches me. My heart is moved each time I hear somebody telling what happened there, to think of the love that He had for me. Oh, Calvary still touches me. My heart is quenched each time I go to plunge neath the fountain of Calvary's flow, and whether it's here cleansing I need, oh, Calvary still touches me. My heart is moved each time I hear somebody telling what happened there, to think of the love that He had for me. Oh, Calvary still touches me. Calvary still touches me, touches me. This one's a tough one for me to sing. I have a hard time getting through this one, so I'm going to need your prayers on this one. As Jesus hung there on the rugged cross at Calvary, to His right there was a humble man, though He was just a thief. To His left was crucified a heart and soul had to pay. Though He mocked and ridiculed, still Jesus reached both ways. Some people fall down on their knees and give to God their lives, while others curse His holy name and hold on to their pride. Oh, today it is no different, as Jesus calls to save. That's why the loving hands of Jesus are reaching both ways. To those who will reject Him, to those who will receive, to those who will doubt Him, to those who will believe, to those who will mark
She's come all the way from Appomattox, Virginia, so we're welcoming Sister Sally to come and share with us her heart. So remember, God loves us. This looked like last night at my house party. She didn't have too bright, it was too dark.
And you all think you've had problems with her? I'm being bossed by her all over life.
Experience with it.
She still to this day tells everybody she's the pretty one, but she fails to tell them I'm the intelligent one. Listen to these other speakers. You've heard them repeat things. And I was sitting back there thinking, how often in the Bible do we read, especially the Apostle Paul, says something in one verse, and the next verse kind of changes around a little bit and says the same thing? Why does he do that? He wants us to make sure we understand and know what he's talking about. So you've heard him repeat things, guess what? You're going to hear it again. And none of us, as far as I know, ever talked about what we were speaking on. So to me, that's a God thing. And we've already seen, everybody has an opinion about love. It's the topic of poems, songs, novels, just in an ordinary, everyday conversation. Remember the Beatles song, love, 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 all you need is love. Is that true? Is what John Lennon said about love the same as what Jesus says about it? We live in a world that claims to know about love, a world that strives to find love, but in fact has proven not to know what love really is. Part of the problem is the English language. We use the word love in so many different ways. Does anybody have chocolate? Do not eat my sister's chocolate. She has that itty bitty stamp. But we love the way somebody cuts their hair. I love that. I love that haircut. We also speak about love in relationship to our country, and of course as well as our spouses. When I was going through this, it reminded me of the little girl who was invited to dinner at her first grade friend's house. The vegetable was buttered broccoli. And the mother asked, do you like it? And the child replied, oh yes, I love it. But when the bowl of broccoli was passed around, she declined to take any. And of course the mother says, I thought you said you loved broccoli. The little girl replied, oh yes ma'am, I do, but not enough to eat it. So do you love your family? And we would answer, of course I do. We would all say that. It's the only right answer. Well, what do you mean by love? So often we love our family like the little girl loves broccoli. We love in the abstract. In the words of the Apostle John, we love in word, but not in deed and truth. So when I was told that I would be speaking on this is what love looks like, I began to think, I began to ponder, what is love? And of course, I go to the Bible, 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter. You've heard it before. Love suffereth long and is kind, love envieth not, love vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, does not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinking no evil, rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Love never fails. So the next thing I looked in the dictionary. It states, love is affection. But neither one of these told me what love looked like, just what love is. So here we go. There's many different types of love. Actually, 4. But more often
often than not, in our culture, that word love is used as a noun to describe an emotion that is better described perhaps as affection. Do I have any English majors in here? What is a noun?
Person, place, or thing.
Person, place, or thing. Keep that in mind. In the English language, the word love has a multitude of meanings. We love everything. We love chocolate, we love pancakes, we love our parents, but in different ways. So we think of love as a thing, a noun. Can you hold love?
No.
Is it a thing? According to both the Apostle Paul and John, love is not an emotion. It may stir our emotions, but love is not a noun, but it's an action verb. Keep that in mind. Love requires action to be recognized as love. The language in which the Bible was written, of course Hebrew and Greek, are more precise in that they utilize different words for different types of love. Okay, the Hebrew word yada and the Greek word eros are the words used to indicate sexual love. The second type of love is phileo, the brotherly love that exists between close friends, regardless of gender. It's the love for and by a friend. It's where we get our word Philadelphia. Philly, the philo, is love. Adelphia, of course, means brother, so it's brotherly love. Family love indicates a deep affection. It's the Greek word storge. Then we have the Greek word agape. It's used to express the kind of love God demonstrates. Steadfast love, or loving kindness. A good example, of course, is found in Numbers 14:18. The Lord is slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love, forgiving iniquities and transgressions. In the New Testament, agape love is goodwill and benevolence of God shown in self-sacrifice and an unconditional commitment to love one. Agape is steadfast regardless of circumstances. Agape love is the kind of love we are to have for God in fulfilling that great commandment in Matthew 22:37. But that still only told me the different types of love, not what love looks like. In the biblical sense, love is a learned behavior, something that can be taught. Only from that perspective can we really start to understand what it means when we hear the commandment, love our neighbor. God is not commanding us to like our neighbor. It's not commanding us to like them because of the way they look. God doesn't say we need to enjoy being with our neighbor either. God is saying we are to love them no matter what. We are to care for our neighbors. We are to care about our sister, our brother, to meet the needs of the orphan and the widows. And if we had deep affection for them, as if they were a child or a spouse or a parent, we are to love our neighbor. John reminds us that loving our neighbor is evidence of the love of God dwelling within us. It's the proof that we love God and God loves us. Our loving acts are often the only means by which others see and experience the love of God in our lives. I think Anita showed this picture a while ago of our dogs. And we know dogs can't express love the way a human can. But bear with me, because that's where I really found out this is what love looks like. My sister recently adopted a shelter dog. And so she calls me and she says, I adopted this wonderful dog, and there's one available for you that you really need to see. Now, I had recently lost a 16-year-old Jack Russell that we had had from a puppy that we dearly loved. And so we were kind of lonely without this dog. So she says, they have one at the shelter. She went over and looked at it, put a deposit on it. Now you've got to come all the way from Appomattox to see this dog. I did. When I saw that dog at the shelter, I knew he was the one I needed. He was excited, and he wiggled all over because I had pictures. He had never seen me, but he was excited I had come for him. I took him home, and I'm still not sure if he adopted me or I adopted him, but he became part of the family. He didn't care what color my skin was, how old I was, what my clothes looked like, how much money I had. He didn't care when I had a hair day. So we settled into a routine. We became comfortable with each other. Sorry. He really likes it when I give him my undivided attention. When we just play, throw a ball, or when we sit on the couch. Sometimes I can get angry with him, and I fuss at him. He listens and he complains what he did or he didn't do. As soon as I'm finished, he licks my face. Sometimes I leave him alone, but as soon as I come back, he's just excited to see me as the first time. Then there's times when he's in a chair by himself. I think he's sleeping and doesn't want to be bothered. But as soon as I move, he's wide awake and he looks at me like, what do you want me to do? When I thought he didn't care, he was just waiting on me to make the first move. I could go on about the dog, but I really want you to see the comparison. Someone introduced you to Christ. We were looking for love, something to fill that void in our lives. Christ has never seen us, but he's so excited when we find him, and we want to take him home. He doesn't care who you are, what you've done, what you look like. When you have a bad hair day, he loves you from the beginning. He loves it when we give him our undivided attention, to spend time with him, even just to take him for a walk and talk to him. He doesn't mind if we fuss and complain. He still loves us. When we feel he has left us alone, he's still watching. And he wants to know, what can I do for you? And he's waiting for us to make that first move. This is what love looks like. Unconditional love. So in the most basic sense, love is the action. Performed by someone concerned for the well-being of another person. Love involves affection, compassion, care, and even self-sacrifice. So here's the bottom line. This is how God shows his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love. Not that we love God, but he loved us and sent his Son as an atonement sacrifice for our sin. Since God so loved, we ought to love one another. We love because he first loved us. How many of us would be willing to give our one and only son, our daughter, to save someone else? even with all these examples, it's still hard to fathom. Here we go again, that same verse. For God so loved, action verb. He loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. So the most important thing you can remember from my speech, love is not a noun. It is an action verb. Sometimes it requires you to make the first move. Sorry, I get emotional. But when you understand that action comes from the heart, not what you say, not what you do, not what you look like, but from the heart, that action. Love looks like. Camera, wait till I get her to love me some lasagna she makes. God is good. He reaches from north, east to west. And the more we think about it, the bigger his love gets. His love is forever, and it's for everybody to experience this beautiful, abundant love. And yes, it is action. It's doing. It's showing. I love what our pastor always says. He says, I love my wife's chocolate cake, but I love my wife. There's a difference. Her chocolate cake is okay, but I love her children. And a couple of Sundays ago, she sent me home with a to-go bowl, because she always gives me one bowl. But she sent me home with two. I love her even more. Okay, let's all stand for just a moment here. We're going to sing one more song. Turn your books to page 222. And we're going to sing first and third verse of The Love of God. I'm sorry. Cheryl.
cry. We have emotion. Remember, it's an action. So we're going to have some action about whatever. Who knows what it's going to be about? So give them a couple minutes and we'll socialize here for just, talk to your neighbor for just a minute. Meet a new friend. Just kind of waiting to have to make some costume changes. Our speakers have been absolutely wonderful. Sharon and yes. Sharon with us. Get ready. I think it's going to be, somebody's going to do something that's coming up the aisle. So I don't know what they're going to talk about, but we're going to hear them, listen to them, and hang on to them. While they're changing, does anybody have anything you want to share about God's love? Personal experience you went through and you felt God's love.
Karen has first.
Okay.
Oh.
So we read the whole thing?
Yeah, read the whole thing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I can
Share
do
your
that.
verse.
Okay. So this is Psalms 136. The theme of it is the never-ending story of God's love. God deserves our praise because his endless love never fails. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of gods. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to him who alone does mighty miracles. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to him who made the heavens so skillfully. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to him who placed the earth among the waters. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to him who made the heavenly lights. His faithful love endures forever. The sun to rule the day. His faithful love endures forever. And the moon and stars to rule the night. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to him who killed the firstborn of Egypt. His faithful love endures forever. He brought Israel out of Egypt. His faithful love endures forever. He acted with a strong hand and powerful arm. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to him who parted the Red Sea. His faithful love endures forever. He led Israel safely through. His faithful love endures forever. But he hurled Pharaoh and his army into the Red Sea. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to him who led his people through the wilderness. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to him who struck down mighty kings. His faithful love endures forever. He killed powerful kings. His faithful love endures forever. Sihon, king of the Amorites, his faithful love endures forever. Oh, I can't pronounce this one. But his faithful love endures forever. God gave the land of these kings as an inheritance. His faithful love endures forever. A special possession to his servant Israel. His faithful love endures forever. He remembered us in our weakness. His faithful love endures forever. He saved us from our enemies. His faithful love endures forever. He gives food to every living thing. His faithful love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of heaven. His faithful love endures forever.
His love endures forever. That's right. All the time, everywhere. Okay, I think they're ready. We're ready whenever you're ready. All right. Okay.
I can't believe we is finally at the airport and on our way to the ladies' conference in Hawaii. Now, what did you say was the theme of that conference?
The theme is that what love looks like. I can't believe they gave me 2 free tickets to come be their speaker. So I'm showing you what love looks like, inviting you to go with me.
Well, thank you. But would it have killed you to pick me up when I told you I wanted you to pick me up? Now we are 2 hours late and I feel so rushed.
Mabel, we are here 3 hours before our flight. Please, whoever said you needed to be at the airport 5 hours ahead of schedule?
I did. I said it yesterday when I told you to pick me up because you insisted that we ride together and I was going to drive myself.
Well, we're here now, so just unruffle your feathers and let's enjoy ourselves.
Enjoy what? I just about got taken out by a herd of unattended whippersnappers back there. Where are their parents?
Well, maybe they are just letting them run out their energy. You know, explore their space.
Well, while they're exploring their space, they're running all over mine. I tripped that little girl with my suitcase, but I made it look like an accident. If her mom won't learn her, then I guess I will.
It is not your job to learn people, Mabel. Maybe if you could realize you could enjoy yourself a little bit more and relax.
Oh, great, a line. Just like I figured. We are never going to get to our gate. The website said to be on time, but no.
We are on time. 3 hours ahead of time is on time. What else did the website tell you?
It said be prepared, have your ticket and ID ready. Now, how much you want to bet that little skinny jeans wearing thing right there with her doggy in her purse won't have her ticket and ID ready? She's too busy taking selfies with that little mutt.
That's what young people do. They like to post every moment of their trip on social media. It's fun for them.
Oh, horse feathers. They're going on an airplane, not to outer space. It's the stupid and Twitter checking selfies is not entertaining to anyone. It's just silly, I say.
What was the third thing that website said? Be on time, be prepared, and...
Really? It said don't gripe. Well, you knew that already, so don't be griping about me griping. It's not my fault. Everyone else is making me crazy.
Of course it is, of course.
Ah, looks like someone up there doesn't know how to follow the rules. If these people just took the time to read what they can and cannot bring on an airplane, maybe this line would not look like we are sitting at the DMV.
Well, while we are waiting, why don't you just try saying something nice to that little cutie? Say something funny and make her laugh.
No thanks. Did you hear that lady's laugh back there? It was deep and throaty. It sounded like the sound a dog makes right before it throws up.
Oh, Mabel, stop. What is wrong with you? Just make nice with that little girl and tell her her dog is cute or something. It will take your mind off everything that is irritating you.
You know what's irritating me, Ethel? You're irritating me, Ethel. Right, hey, that's a cute little dog you got there. Why didn't you leave it at home?
Really? That's how you strike up a conversation with someone to be nice?
I was just asking. Maybe she's someone rich and famous, like one of them Hiltons, you know, that Paris takes that ugly chihuahua everywhere she goes. It's part of being famous.
I'm here to go to college. I don't really know anyone here yet. I'm really missing my mom and grandma, so I had to bring my dog.
Oh, I bet you miss your family, don't you?
I really do. It's really lonely being out here and not knowing anyone. It's just me and Bella.
Well, if you ever feel like hanging with a couple of old coots, me and Ethel here can be pretty entertaining.
I would love to. If you would text me your phone number, I can put it into my phone and then I'll text you back. And then I'll text you when I get back. Will that work?
No, it will not. I use my phone for talking. I don't read it. So why don't you just write your little phone number down on a piece of paper and hand it to me, and I will call you in a week or so.
Okay, but I don't have a paper or pen.
Of course you don't. These crazy kids these days. I've got both, so I'll just write mine down, and you can, let me see what you can do. You can call me, but do not text and bird me. Just call me when you get back.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, I don't need the paper. I'll just take a picture of it.
Of course you will.
I don't think this line is ever going to move.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but you cannot bring those scissors on here.
What? Why not?
Because those are the rules. No scissors on an airplane, no sharp or metal object, and your scissors are both of those things. It's for everyone's safety.
Safety? They're not even that sharp. What's somebody gonna do to you with a pair of scissors? You took that lady's nail file, you took that little girl's hairspray. What else are you gonna take next? You just love ruining people's day, don't you?
Not at all. It's just my job. I'm so sorry you feel that way.
You know, if people read the rules, they wouldn't get in such a huff. No sharp object. Is it really that hard to understand? Well, we're next. Get over there.
Beep. Beep. I'm sorry, ma'am. Can you step this way into the full body scan?
Mabel, can you hold my bag? I've seen about these things before. One time I went with Gladys to the airport, and well, she kind of enjoys when they frisk her down. I think she puts metal in her pockets every time before we travel, so they'll do that. Me, why do I gotta do this? It's probably just my underwire brassiere or something. It's new. And the sales lady said it provides lifting support and enhances the natural shape of my breast.
Well, she.
All right, let's figure out what causes the alarm, and we'll be right on your way.
Mabel, are you wearing a bikini?
No. I mean, yes. I mean, get me out of this thing. I confess. I have a knife in my brassiere. I stashed it there so I could cut my apple up that's in my purse.
Ma'am, you're not allowed to have a knife for any reason.
Well, then we have a problem. I need that apple to keep me regular. And my choppers will come clean out of my mouth if I just try to bite into it.
It's okay. Just explain it all to the flight attendant. They'll be glad to cut up your apples so you can stay regular.
Well, I guess I gotta turn this thing over then.
Thank goodness. I was afraid you were going to tell her that she couldn't have her apple either. She can throw quite a fit. She would have likely ended up hog-tied in the middle of this airport.
That is so not true. I handle disappointment with grace and dignity.
Sure you do, Mabel. About as graceful and dignified as that bikini you're wearing under that dress.
You hush now, you just hush. And let's go find us a good seat. And I hope you're not planning to put that bag up in that overhead compartment, because I tell you right now, it's not going to fit. No, it is not going to fit.
Well, I'll just take my noodle out and then I'll be fine.
So we're gonna remember that the next time we go to the airport, right? Airports are fun, yes, they're very, very good. Good job, ladies, good job. Hey, at this time, it's almost time for us to say adios for another year or for another time. But let's just recognize our speakers. We'll let all our speakers come forward, stand up for me, please. Chocolate, so come on up and get you some chocolate. Thank you. And the singers, Sheila.
Yeah.
Get everybody? Tammy? You can share yours. I know you're going to be busy today, so we'll give you You ladies did a fantastic job helping us out, doing what God wants us to do. I kept thinking about that. What does God want us to do? So I want us to just remember one thing. Through Jesus Christ, God gave each of us his love. We think of his love as the heart. If you see, it's really the cross. And he said, I gave you this love, but don't keep my love in a box. Open your box of love up and give it away. Release the love, let it go, and learn more about his love. By the more you let go, the more you will get. Thank you, ladies, for coming and sharing with us today God's love. Take this love this week and share it with somebody. They may know God, they may not know God, but they can know more about God if you share his love. And it could be just somebody you know as a personal friend, a spouse. Sometimes they just need a quick call and say, hey, just want you to know I thought about you in Christ. Let's all stand. We're going to ask Miss Jan to dismiss us from this service. Downstairs, we have barbecue for you. We have a lovely dinner prepared. The ladies have worked real hard. Also, on your way downstairs, there's a gift table here. There's gifts for everyone who come today. Our ladies were great and generous, and so we even have hearts of love and flowers and hand lotion and lots of things. So pick up your stuff on your way downstairs. If you can't stay, you can pick it up and go out the exit door there. So let's go ahead and we'll ask Miss Jan to say our blessing, dismiss us, and say our blessing.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this opportunity that we could gather together and we can learn about your love, Lord, and how much you loved us that you gave us your Son. God bless each one that came today. And Lord, I pray that their hearts are full of love. And Lord, we just bless you and thank you for all you've done for us. We pray, Lord, that you bless this food we're about to receive. Lord, bless the ones that made it, dear God. And thank you again for always being there for us in our bad times, our sad times, and the good times too. We just praise you and thank you for it all. And in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Take a few minutes, mingle together, chat a little bit.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I'm going to cut the camera off now. We'll see you later.
I want to stay for just a short bit.
Oh,
I need